Well, here's another report on the battery situation. This is my spot welder, and this is the work I've been doing. So you can see all kinds of packs in various stages of disassembly. Here's our pack that I left in the rain. Damn it. There's 2 cells out, but there's a 3rd cell that needs to be pulled. So 7 out of 10 is not okay if you're a power tool battery. I don't have anything like it. These are 2000 milliamp hour cells, and everything else here is 1300 or maybe 1500. So this one, it works, it lights up, and it charges and discharges okay. So what I'm going to do is just set it aside until I figure out where I'm going to get some of those cells. There's some on eBay and stuff, but when it ships straight from China, generally they're counterfeit. They're very good counterfeits, but they're counterfeits, so I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. I tested all these today. They're basically in very bad shape. They're very, very low capacity. They're consistent, but they're very low. I mean, the minimum lithium battery Sears makes is 1300 milliamp hours, and these are 400 and 500. They're useless, unfortunately, which is too bad, because these could make a lot of good spares. This other group of cells, I think they're all bad as I recall, but the front 2 were in really good shape. And those front 2 went into this pack right here. This is one of the early ones. That's why it's got this silly decal. It's just got a light on the front. It doesn't have the LEDs here. But it works. I haven't actually put it in the power tool yet, but the 2 cells out of this guy were slightly higher capacity than these, so it was a decent match. So I put it all together and did some testing. In fact, I mentioned in the last video, if I tested the current draw of just one of these connections to the battery, I think one of these around here was 0.8 milliamps, and that would be bad because it would last only about 67 days before it totally killed the cell. You know, discharge it all the way to 0, which lithium is a very bad idea because it permanently damages it. So this board I did that testing on, and it got no current draw. So I know there's got to be a little, but it was very little. So this one, I'll just keep an eye on it and I'll use it, and we'll see how it holds up. It's about 1800, probably. I forget what the cells are. I probably took pictures of them. Not all of these double height packs were 4 amp hours. I don't think that came until later, but I'm not real sure. Anyway, it's useful. Hopefully it'll handle a load, and we'll give that a test another day. Let's see, I got the status of those. This one here, actually the cells were all at 0 volts. I recharged them and tested them all. The capacity isn't great, as you can see. I don't think I can even see the... Oh wait, maybe I can get a part number on this. I think these are supposed to be 1300. Yeah, 13Q. So these are supposed to be 1300s. And they're 8s and 7s, so they're in pretty bad shape. But I charged them up, and they're holding the charge reasonably well, so I'll check in a few days. Although, a long time ago, a year ago or so when I did this, there was a blown fuse, so I jumpered the fuse, but this thing still will not charge on the standard charger. So, it's not working right. And then there's one, where is it? There's one, Sears changes the boards, depending, you know, what era it is, because I think they're always trying to find a better board, and maybe cheaper. Like these 2 are exactly the same. They're not the oldest, they're the 2nd oldest. And then there's these boards with the connectors in the front like this. They're the oldest. And I have the most of them out of the 7 packs that are here. I think 4 of them are those. Anyway, so like this pack here, these cells are all discharged fully. They're dead. They're no good. I can't tell if it's the board that's bad or all the cells, but the cells won't come back. They're shorted, dead, gone. So, you know, there's good hardware here, good bus bars, and you know, the board might be good. This one had a couple of shorted cells, pretty low capacity. That one was parted out a long time ago. So anyway, that's the status. A lot of this, it turns out, is probably junk. It's good to find good boards. You know, find out what's good so you can use it for the future. Because boards do sometimes die. They may or may not take out the cells with them, however. Here's one of the end caps. What I've typically done is pop all the spot welds, and I've always done that with a screwdriver walking my way under them. You got to be careful you don't short to the next group of cells if they're close by, but you break all those loose and then this comes off. So in fact, that's probably where that came from, is this group right here. Anyway, that's the status of things. I've got a few spares. I got some of the bus bars straightened out and could be spot welded in again. And I think that's it. I think I'll probably start putting some stuff away. And when I get some cash, I'll order some of these cells new. Finding these things on sale isn't easy. You can get the inexpensive version like this with no LEDs on it, but it's not 4 amp hours. You can get those on sale for $50 sometimes. But the 4 amp hour one, the really good one, which generally looks like this, and it says on the box, that's the one you really want, because not only does it have more power, it has, it lasts longer. In terms of how long it stays charged and the time that you can use it. And why that's useful is you're using a smaller percentage of its capacity every time you use it. If you're only using 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of its capacity every time you use it, the stupid thing will last forever. That's the thing. So if you have a smaller capacity and you're draining it almost all the way down every time, it isn't going to last. That's why these short ones that are like single height, they just, you know, there is use for them, absolutely, but they're not going to last as long. One of the uses is these half height packs are so light that if you have an odd thing you have to do, you have to hold it funny with your arm extended way out or something, that's the battery you want in it. They're way lighter than, say, a Nike, way lighter than a NiCad pack, infinitely lighter, but they're even lighter than the double height ones. So if you're just doing something where, you know, you want lightweight, you put in one of these and you use a impact driver, not a drill, but an impact driver. And you know what, I should do a video on that, because the difference between using a drill to turn a screw and an impact driver is huge. It's absolutely, it's shocking. Anyway, it's actually very shocking. Impact drivers are much lighter and smaller, but they have way more torque. And they're still variable speed and all that. So, anyway, that's it. I think I'm going to start putting this stuff away. And when I get some money for some cells, I'll pick one of these guys and repair it. This one here has potential. It's later model. But all these cells are dead as a doornail. They're absolutely dead. Now it says blown fuse on it. I think, yeah, I just discovered that tonight. So I don't know how far I could get with this one. I mean, I can put a jumper across it to fake a fuse just to test it. But I don't know if the board works. You know, you can't make the LEDs light up because there's no power in the thing. So this would be nice to be able to rebuild another full-size one like this with new cells. They're running about $6, $7, $8 a cell. So say 8 times, gosh, 10 cells would be $80. 6 times 10 would be $60. And it's a lot of money, but I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather get my other pack over here back on the road again. It needs 3 cells, and that wouldn't be too bad. Maybe $20 to fix it, and have 2 or 3 of these always on charge, ready to go. And that's how you get it done. You sure as hell don't leave them in the rain. That's the other thing. These older ones have vents. See, there's a vent here, an air vent, and an air vent here. They got rid of those. And it didn't really help because the newer models, like these, don't have any air vents, but they still leak. It leaked around the seams here, and it soaked that thing and turned it into muck because a cell had shorted and dumped its contents. So, you know, the older ones are vented, and I don't think the medium-aged ones are vented or the newest ones are vented. So there's at least 3 different versions of this battery. The cells are all pretty much the same. I've identified 3 manufacturers. Sanyo's the least common, Samsung's very common, and then LG was the other cells. And they come in what? I don't know, 1300 amp milliamp, 1500 and 2000s. The good one over there, that's 2000. Those are 2000s, but I don't have any 2000s here to substitute. So I was thinking about turning that into a temporary 5-cell pack, but I really don't want to do that because those are in really good shape over there. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's late, and we're going to call it good. Good night.